Tomorrow is Transformers Thursday through Hasbro Pulse. We're going to be getting a brand new live stream from their YouTube channel with brand new reveals, franchise news, and of course, big pre-orders of brand new Transformer product. But it looks like today we got something a little early. Now, these were images that were kicking around in the underbelly of the Transformer community for about 3 weeks now. And they were originally sourced from a private group in Weibo on the Chinese message boards. And they kind of were just kept on the down low to be respectful to Hasbro. But a Twitter user by the name of Transform Robot or something decided to leak them out. So like we say here on the podcast, once the genie is out of the bottle, there's not much more we could do about it, except make sense of it and explain what you guys are looking at today. So today we're going to be talking about the big reveal of the Transformers Legacy Walmart exclusive Generation 1 Minerva. Now, this was a product that back in, I want to say, October of 2021, JT Prime 17 gave us a whole bunch of listings of all kinds of future exclusives and legacy-related product across all the different exclusive channels. There was a Walgreens listing for a Minerva, and at the time, we didn't know how this was going to go about. Maybe it might be an RC retool repaint. It wasn't until we really got a good look at the Legacy Elita 1 toy, combined with the fact at how how Minerva looked in the IDW comic books, more specifically the IDW Wreckers Tread and Circuit book, did we really get an idea of what this character was going to look like. And she looks really good. I like it a lot. Again, Minerva is one of those characters that I have a huge fandom for. Many years ago, I want to say 10 years ago, I did a top to bottom every single Minerva toy ever made. Master Force is one of my favorite Transformer series of all time, definitely in my top 3. And I just kind of explained, hey, here's every Minerva toy, here's every bootleg, every PVC, every statue, and pretty much documenting how much of a headache it is to collect this figure, because everything she's ever gotten throughout the years has always really been either extremely ridiculously rare or exclusive or expensive, or a Wonder Festival exclusive that only 100 are made, or a model kit. It was always crazy. I think the only thing that's cheap of hers ever has been her SCF PVCs. I think those are like maybe $10, $15 today in the secondary market. But everything else, like her original Generation 1 toy, mint in box, you're talking $2,000, $3,000. Loose complete, you're talking like $1,500. And that's if it's not even yellowed like crazy. She suffers from yellowing heavily, which is something we'll get into afterwards. But, we end up in this situation where we finally have a version of this character sold in the Western market at hopefully an affordable and easy to get way. And that's fantastic for a lot of Transformer fans. Now, like I said before, she is a retool of the Legacy Deluxe Class Elita 1 that we still really don't have yet, but is also going to be showing up in stores at some point. From what we could tell, it really is just a brand new head sculpt, and the little, antennas that were originally on the roof of Elita 1's alt mode are now replaced with a light bar. So to really invoke that original Minerva alt mode, which was originally a ambulance Porsche, and now they're going with whatever this alt mode was intended for Elita 1 to kind of do double duty for these two characters. I'm just happy that people are going to be able to get this. That's the most important thing. What I also like now, looking in retrospective, Elita 1 comes with 2 guns. And one of those guns, specifically the black gun, the more I look at it now, I see that it kind of also did double duty in that it's one of Elita 1's guns, but it also kind of looks a little bit sculpted like the original Nightbeat / Minerva Generation 1 toys gun. So it's kind of smart, the little engineering and designing and veneering that Mark and Evan did on this toy that really kind of invoke, both versions of that character. So I really like that, what I see here. The colors are great. The head sculpt is great. She looks fantastic. I love what I see. I think she looks really, really good. Obviously, she's not going to have a transforming headmaster head. This is based off of that IDW version. And that's fine, in all honesty, that it's based off of that IDW version, because it kind of gives them a way out in the future. And what I mean by that is this is going to be the IDW character. This is going to be the IDW Minerva. It gives people an opportunity to get a Minerva toy in the Generation 1 design in the Western market. And if they want to, because they've already made an effort and time to trademark this name and this IP and this character, that later on, if they want to, they could revisit this character and maybe give it that not Porsche, not licensed Porsche kind of treatment, and do something that's a little more leaning towards the original Generation 1 Master Force Minerva. And then it gives you a backdoor to also do a repaint into Nightbeat. So it'll kind of be worth their time and effort when it's all said and done. That's the way I see it. I mean, obviously Porsche isn't playing ball, and it's going to be hard to do something that's Porsche related, but they could go the Jazz Studio Series 86 route and kind of see how far they could stretch that without getting in trouble with Volkswagen and Porsche like that. But either way, I think it looks really good. I think it looks fantastic. I love what I see here. And the only issue that I have is it's going to be a Walgreens exclusive. And if it's going to be a Walgreens exclusive, that's where things are going to be like, ooh, that's going to be a little dicey. Because if it's going to be a Walgreens exclusive, we're going to be in one of these scenarios where, yeah, it will be available in the Western market. Yeah, you will be able to pick it up if you leave your house and go to a Walgreens. But will it be scalped like crazy? Will it be difficult to find? Because Minerva is a very, attractive character to a lot of people in the secondary market, because just of how difficult it is to get her old toys. To get something of hers at all, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to want this. I look at some other previous Fembot characters that literally have very limited releases of their designs, whether it be something like a Greenlight or even some versions of RC throughout the years when they weren't plentiful. They would go between $60 to $100 in the secondary market because of people scalping them. You take something like this, yeah, it's going to be one per case. There's going to be a case of 8 of these at Walgreens. But if you get some guy that's going to come into Walgreens and just clear that case of 8, no problem, it's going to be an issue. Now, for Canadians, this is going to be a EB Games and a GameStop exclusive, because a lot of Walgreens exclusives usually end up there. But that being said, we might also suffer from that same problem where we're going to have people that are going to try to do this. So let's try to be fair to everyone with this, guys. Obviously, Hasbro Pulse will probably get a small number of these on their website too, but this is a very difficult character in the past to get. It would be nice that people would finally be able to get a representation on their shelf, a transformable representation on their shelves of this character, and I think it looks great. I think it looks fantastic. I like what I see. Obviously, we're probably going to see more of this character in the future now that they've made the dive on that trademark, but this is great. This, to finally get a Minerva trademarked character in the Western market is quite a surprise, and that's fantastic in my opinion. My only worry now, and I mentioned it just before, but the original Minerva toy suffered from yellowing, quite brutally, and we're seeing a lot of yellowing issues right now with a lot of our modern Transformer toys. It's something that I'm going to talk about in the future in a deeper kind of sense, but I really want to have more controlled examples before I kind of give because I'm seeing a lot of yellowing on stuff, and then looking at my stuff that doesn't, like my Transformer collection has 0 sun exposure, and I'm very careful with even like the UV light and stuff. People have seen my collection. They know how I talk about museum lighting and stuff, and I've done even segments talking about it, but I mean, my Tigatron doesn't have yellowing. My Cyberverse RC doesn't have yellowing. I haven't personally experienced any of this yet. So I want to really get a little more information before I talk about it. But there has been a lot of reports of it. So it's something where I just hope that this bone white Minerva that we have here today doesn't create an homage to its original toy by also yellowing after a period of time. But it looks great. Looks fantastic. I'm very excited about that. I hope we see more. Again, it's probably going to be the MSRP for our inflated deluxes today of $24.99. Walgreens exclusive, 8 per case. Keep an eye out for that. Maybe tomorrow at Hasbro Pulse's Transformer Thursday, maybe she'll be one of the reveals and one of the pre-orders that go up. That I cannot confirm. But ladies and gentlemen, here we are, Transformers Legacy Walgreens exclusive G1 Minerva making her Western debut in the retail market. This is fantastic stuff. I'll see you tomorrow. We're going to break down everything that's happening with the Transformer Thursday. Hasbro's going to reveal the product, but come back to us afterwards because we're going to break it down and make sense of everything, all the homages, all the sculpting, all the little retooling. That's what you come here for, to learn about Transformers after you get the official word from the company. Hope to see you all tomorrow. Let's rock out with the robots in disguise.